Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Three refuge. Tisarana. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dhamma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. A second time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. A second time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A second time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. A third time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. A third time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A third time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. 5 precepts, Panchasila. Pānātipātā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training to abstain from taking life. Adinādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training to abstain from stealing. Kāmesu micchācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training to abstain from sexual misconduct. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training to abstain from false speech. Surameraya majjapamādaṭṭhāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training to abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. Buddha Vandana. Homage to the Buddha. Itipiso bhagavā arahang samma sambuddho viññācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sattā deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Such indeed the exalted one, worthy, supremely enlightened, endowed with knowledge and conduct, well gone, nor of the world, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed, supreme teacher of deities and men, enlightened and exalted. Dhamma Vandana, homage to the teachings of the Buddha. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandittiko Akaliko Ehi Pansiko Opanayiko Panchantang Veditambo Vinyuhiti. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One, directly visible, immediately effective, calling one to come and see, leading onwards, and to be personally realized by the wise. Sangha Vandana, homage to the noble disciples of the Buddha. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujjopatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samici Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadedan Chantari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pungala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahoneyo Pahoneyo Dakkeneyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuntarang Punyakentang Lokan Sati. The order of the Blessed One's disciples is practicing well. The order of the Blessed One disciples is practicing correctly. The order of the Blessed One disciples is practicing rightly. The order of the Blessed One's disciples is practicing properly. This is the four pairs of persons, the 8 kinds of individuals. The order of the Blessed One's disciples is worthy of offerings and hospitality, worthy of gifts and salutation, the supreme field of merits for the world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in the Dhamma, now we are going to start our weekly Dhamma program, Tuesday Dhamma class and meditation session. First of all, we worship the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. And next we are going to listen to Buddha's message and practice in meditation. This is the way how we conduct our weekly Dhamma program. As you know, the Buddha explained the way how we develop our inner peace. That is the main purpose of all teachings that the Supreme Buddha explained for 45 years. The Buddha pointed out the way how we achieve the real happiness, inner peace, liberation, freedom, emancipation. Our happiness completely depends on purifying our minds. Therefore, in the name of Buddhism, whatever we do, everything focuses on purifying our mind. When we see the Buddha's message, we can see 2 stages of Buddhist practicing. One of them is the teachings that belongs to the conventional truth, focusing on a blissful life hereafter. The second step is that focusing on purifying our mind completely from ignorance or delusion. For that, we have to know the Dhamma, what the Buddha explained. The more we associate with good friends, the more we have to listen to Buddha's message. That is the main thing that we prepare, that we achieve in our life. Associating good friends plays a big role on this path. That is why the Supreme Buddha says the entire Buddhism, the entire spiritual success completely depends on associating good friends. That is very important. We receive good association, noble friendship, because of our previous good karmas, wholesome activities. As the result of our previous good activities, when we receive good association, we should be wise, and also we should be aware of what they say. We should be gently spoken. It's a very special quality in Buddhism, which is suvacha. Suvacha means gently spoken. We should pay our attention to what they say. That is very important. When we meet a person, when we are ready to listen to what they say, we have a chance to listen to the path which helps us to purify our mind. As the result of this path, we have a chance to listen to way how we purify our mind completely. They are in one step, the very first stage, we have a chance to listen to the purification of our mind from greed and anger. For that, we have to practice some qualities. Here we have a knowledge about the karmic law. When we have the knowledge or understanding about the karmic law, we understand when our mind is pure, our activities are correct, then results are pleasant or fruitful. When mind is wicked, with negative thoughts, then our activities are incorrect, evil, and the results are painful. With this understanding, always we trained our mind to keep in pure and calm. That is very important. When we are aware of our mind, and also when we take care of our mind, when we always keep our mind pure and calm, we can see the results. Then automatically the supreme blessings happen in our life. According to Mangala Sutta, the discourse of blessings, the Buddha says the real blessings that we can develop in our life, the results are very clear. When we keep our mind pure and calm, as the result of keeping our mind pure and calm, automatically supreme blessings happen in our life. What they are? Mata Pitu Pattana, or taking care of our parents. That is a supreme blessing. Dhanancha Dhammacharyacha, practicing generosity is a supreme blessing. Dhammacharyacha, living according to Dhamma is a supreme blessing. Arati Virati Papa, abstaining from evils is a supreme blessing. Katanyuta, gratitude is a supreme blessing. Kalena Dhamma Savanam, Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha. Listening to Dhamma in the proper time is a supreme blessing. Discussing Dhamma in the proper time is a supreme blessing. And Arya Satchana Dasanam, understanding the Four Noble Truths is a supreme blessing. Finally, Buddha says, Nibbana Satchikiryacha Etam Mangalamuttamam. Attaining enlightenment or Nibbana is a supreme blessing. As the result of this path, we can see the highest result, which is that Puttasa loka dhammehi chittang yasana kampati asokang virajang kemang etang mangalam uttamam. Making an unshakable mind among the worldly conditions, such as labha labha, gain and loss, yasa honor and dishonor, praise and blame, happiness and misery. Among these 8 conditions, if we can make a strong mind, unshakable mind, that is the highest blessing that we can receive in our life by practicing Dhamma as the result of keeping our mind pure and calm. This is the very first step that Buddha has explained for our inner peace. As the second step, that we should have clear understanding the Four Noble Truths. How suffering arises and how suffering ceases. Whenever we are ignorant, whenever we see something, if we have no clear understanding what happens to our life, then we become the samsaric circle. Avidya paccaya sankhara. Ignorance conditions mental formations. Sankhara paccaya vijnanam. Mental objects or mental formations condition consciousness, which consists with ignorance or delusion. So when we are ignorant in the world reality, automatically we are in the samsaric circle, and also we have to suffer when we face our activities or objects, whatever we do. As the result of this ignorant path, we have to suffer. We have to face some difficulties, sorrow, death, lamentation. These are the problems we face because of ignorance, which is the main cause of suffering. And also, when we are wise, as soon as we see something, as soon as we experience something, we immediately understand what happens to our minds, our life. When we experience something through our senses, we contact something at the moment, but when we understand them, we understand everything through our mind consciousness. When we recognize something through our mind consciousness, the very first experience, the form has already ceased. This is the reality that we understand throughout listening to Dhamma, what the Buddha explained. As the result of this path, we have clear understanding what happens to our life. And also we can understand whether we are in the samsaric circle or whether we are away from the samsaric circle. Here we find the path, and also we understand the Noble Eightfold Path. As soon as we listen to this message, how suffering arises and how suffering ceases, then we find the path, the Noble Eightfold Path. This path is fearless, and also this path directly focuses on our purification of mind. The main quality that we can practice on this path is that mindfulness, right mindfulness. That is very important. Buddha always explains the importance of practicing mindfulness. Buddha says very clearly, it is very important to understand. Ekayano ayam bhikkhave maggo satthanang visuddhya. Practicing mindfulness is the only way for the purification of beings. Soka paridhavana samatikamaya. Practicing mindfulness is the only way for getting rid of sorrow and lamentation. Practicing mindfulness is the only way for overcoming grief and pain. Practicing mindfulness is the only way for gaining knowledge. And practicing mindfulness is the only way for attaining enlightenment. So on, Buddha explains the importance of practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness means the awareness of our body and mind, the attentiveness of our body and mind. We especially keep our mind in the present moment, and also we have intention what happens to my body and mind. With this understanding, gradually we can develop mindfulness and wisdom. As the result of this path, we are able to overcome three unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. They are craving, anger, and delusion. The main purpose of all activities that we do in the name of Buddhism, reducing these three unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. The more we listen to Dhamma, the more we understand our life. The more we understand our life, the more we practice mindfulness. The more we practice mindfulness, the more we overcome, we reduce these three unwholesome mental states, craving, anger, and delusion. Here, it is very important to understand right mindfulness belongs to the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path is very, very important. The main sign that we are on the path of liberation is that practicing the Noble Eightfold Path. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vaca, Samma Kammanta, so on. These are the steps of liberation. Actually, these are the mindfulness steps of happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. When we practice these qualities, it means we are on the path of happiness. These are the 8 steps of happiness. At this moment, we are going to practice these 8 steps as meditation techniques. That is very important. These 8 steps are that the 8 steps of happiness, the 8 mindfulness steps of happiness. Right understanding, samadhi, Samma Sankappa, right intention, Samma Vaca, right speech, Samma Kammanta, right action, Samma Ajiva, right livelihood, Samma Vayama, right effort, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and Samma Samadhi, right concentration. These are the 8 steps of happiness. When we practice these 8 steps, we can concentrate our mind. When mind gains concentration, we are able to reflect on the world reality, impermanence as it is. Dear friends in the Dhamma, now we are going to practice these 8 steps, the Noble Eightfold Path, mindfully as meditation techniques. Okay, first of all, we explain these steps and also we are aware of these steps by practicing meditation as a meditation technique. Please relax your body. Relax Relax your body, please. Please take a deep breath in. Hold few seconds. Breathe out gently. Again, take a deep breath in. Hold it few seconds. Breathe out slowly. Relax your body again, please. Please be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here. From your legs to head and from your head to legs. And please keep your attention the end of the nose or upper lip in the present moment. Okay, please keep your attention around the nose or upper lip in the present moment. Please practice Satinimitta, focus of mindfulness, or the mindfulness object. It means we completely live in the present moment, keeping our attention around the nose or upper lip with mindfulness. Keeping my attention in the present moment. Now I am going to practice the Noble Eightfold Path, the 8 mindful steps of happiness. The very first one is Sammaditthi, right understanding. I understand the karmic law. It means whatever I do with intention, physically, verbally or mentally, according to my mind state, I will receive the same results. When mind is pure and calm, my activities are correct. Then the results are fruitful or pleasant. I am aware of this reality. Keeping my attention in the present moment, I contemplate on the karmic law, the relationship between my mind and activities. At the same time, I keep my mind pure and calm. I am aware of the present moment. At the same time, I am mindful in the nature of karmic law. Mind is the forerunner. Mind is chief. Mind made Ade. If someone does something with a pure mind, physically, verbally or mentally, happiness follows him because of pure mind. I reflect on this reality again and again. The second step of right understanding Sammaditthi is that understanding the Four Noble Truths. The first one is Dukkha Satya, the Noble Truth of suffering. When I experience something through my six senses, the very first experience, which is neither pleasant nor unpleasant, which is neither wholesome nor unwholesome, that is the first noble truth, Dukkha Satya, the noble truth of suffering. When I am ignorant in this reality, then I have craving. I attach to the world. Craving arises. The five aggregates subject to clinging as the result of my ignorance. That is the second noble truth of suffering, Samudaya Satya, the noble truth of the origin of suffering. When I am aware of this reality, when I am mindful and wise, I immediately understand this reality. Whenever I see something, I taste something, I hear something, I smell something, I touch something, I understand that I recognize these objects through my mind consciousness. When I recognize something through my mind consciousness, the very first experience has already ceased. That is the third truth, Nirodha Satya, the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. And also the fourth truth, Magga Satya. If I want to achieve this reality, I should practice the path, the Noble Eightfold Path, Arya Attangika Magga, the path that leads to getting rid of suffering. I reflect on these four things, the Four Noble Truths, Dukkha Satya, Samudaya Satya, Nirodha Satya, and Magga Satya. I am aware of these four things. Understanding these four things cleans the path of emancipation, liberation, enlightenment. The next step of the Noble Eightfold Path is that Samma Sankappa. When I have right understanding, I gradually become the second step, Samma Sankappa, right intention or right thoughts. It means Nekkama Sankappa, intention free from sensual pleasure, lustful desire. Avyapada Sankappa, intention free from ill will. Avihimsa Sankappa, intention or thoughts free from cruelty. For this right intention, right thoughts, Samma Sankappa, I practice generosity and loving kindness meditations. I practice generosity and metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation. At this moment, I practice Jhaganupassana bhavana, contemplating on generosity. I have donated many things for people. I have taken care of my parents, I have offered some medicine for ill people. I have helped innocent people. At this moment, I think one of them, which is very remarkable in my life. Sometimes you have donated your blood. You have donated your body organs. You can remember one of them as a meritorious deed. Please be aware of your generosity. I have a very generous heart. I always ready to offer something to others. My heart filled with generosity. I am ready to offer anything to anyone what I have already. I practice Samma Sankappa, right thoughts, right intention. I contemplate on generosity that I have already practiced. I remind a very remarkable generosity or donation that I have already done. And also, furthermore, I developed Samma Sankappa, Avyapada Sankappa, loving kindness thoughts. I spread loving kindness to everyone, those who are in this world. I practice Metta Bhavana. May all beings in this place, at this temple, be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings at this temple attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this city be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this country be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this planet, the earth, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this entire world be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. I see all over the world like my family, like my children. I spread loving kindness thoughts to everyone, those who are in this world. I am friendly with everyone. When I see a person, when I hear a person, when I remember a person, I immediately think that person like my only son or daughter. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. Next, I am going to practice Samma Vacha, right speech. I abstain from foul speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, and useless words. I abstain from false speech, slandering, harsh words, and rubbish, useless words. When I speak something, I contemplate on it again and again whether it is correct or fruitful. I practice right speech, Sammavaca. I use very pleasant words as I step of the Noble Eightfold Path. I contemplate on practicing right speech, Sammavaca. I always practice right speech, Sammavaca. I purify my mind by contemplating on my right speech, Sammavaca. I think it again and again. I practice Sammakhamanta, right action. I abstain from taking life, abstain from stealing, abstain from sexual misconduct. This is the way how I practice Sammakhamanta, right action. As a Buddhist follower, I always conduct my activities as Sammakhamanta, right action. I abstain from killing beings. I abstain from stealing. I abstain from sexual misconduct. This is the way how I practice Sammakhamanta, right action. I contemplate on my practice, right action. According to the Noble Eightfold Path, I practice Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. When I earn something for my life, I earn everything righteously and honestly. I am so happy when we contemplate on my righteous life. Always I practice 5 precepts. By practicing 5 precepts honestly and righteously, I earn money, I do my jobs. That is right livelihood, Samma Ajiva. I contemplate on my righteous life, righteous livelihood. The next step of the Noble Eightfold Path, Samma Vayama, right effort. I always practice Samma Vayama. I have effort not to evil and practice good deeds. I keep my effort in the highest level not to do evil and practice good deeds. That is Samma Vayama, right effort. That is my practice. I contemplate on Samma Vayama, right effort. Samma Vayama, right effort. The next part of the Noble Eightfold Path, Samma Sati, right mindfulness. I am aware of my body and mind. Always I keep my attention in the present moment. At the same time, I contemplate on my body, feelings, consciousness, and mental formations. Being mindful is the highest quality that I can practice in my life. I always take care of my mind. I always contemplate on my mind, my activities, my speech. Samma Sati, right mindfulness. When I practice mindfulness, especially when I practice breathing meditation, Anapanasati Bhavana, my mind gradually gains concentration. I practice Samma Samadhi, right mindfulness, and right concentration. I practice right concentration by practicing breathing in and out meditation. I concentrate my mind in the present moment. My mind is so pure and calm. Samma Samadhi, right concentration. When mind gains concentration, I reflect on the reality, impermanence. My entire life is the present moment, the present thought. That present thought arises and ceases at the moment. That present thought consists of other four things: Rupa, form, Vedana, feeling, Sanya, perception, and Sankhara, mental formations. These five things, five aggregates: Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Every moment, these five things arise together. They immediately cease when conditions cease. My entire life is the present moment, these 5 aggregates. Every moment, these 5 aggregates arise and cease. I contemplate on this reality as Sammajnana. When I achieve Sammajnana, right knowledge, I achieve right liberation, Samma Vimukti. I am free from the entire world. I completely depend on this understanding, knowledge, wisdom, liberation. Everything is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Sabbe sankhara anicchati yada paññāya pansati ata nibbindati dukkhe esa maggo visuddhiyā. All conditioned things are impermanent. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sabbe sankhara dukkhati yada paññāya pansati ata nibbindati dukkhe esa maggo visuddhiyā. All conditioned things are dissatisfactory. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sabbe Dhamma anattati yada paññāya pansati ata nibbindati dukkhe esa maggo visuddhiyā. All phenomena are selfless. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, dear friends in Dhamma, you can practice this Noble Eightfold Path as much as you can as a meditation technique, and also you are able to purify your mind from negativities for your inner peace. For that, I wish you all the best. By the power of this spiritual energy, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.